Hello and welcome to this coding lecture. In the previous video you have learned about batches, and this is what we are going to implement now. Here you can see I have opened this linear regression batches start script, which is basically the code from the model class implementation. We can just check that everything is working by running everything above the line where we plot the losses. So we are working with the same dataset and we create our linear regression model with PyTorch. And what we're going to do now is we are iterating through our dataset with a defined batch size. So for this we need to define this parameter at first, the batch size. So we are going in smaller batches through the data within every epoch. So what this technically means is we have the outer loop for iterating over the number of the epochs, and then in every epoch we are passing the training data byte by byte to the model. So this is what we're going to implement now. So the loop is looking like this. We are creating a for loop, and the range is from 0 to the length of x, or we can say x.shape at position 0. So this is returning the number of rows of our training data. We are iterating over the number of rows of our dataset, and the step size is the batch size. So every time we are increasing the value by 2. That is already good. Now we have some problem with the indentation. Everything that is inside the for loop needs to be indented. Alright, but still this cannot work because still we are passing in here the complete training data. This of course is not correct. Here we need to add the specific location. So we are going from position I to position I plus the batch size. So at the first run we are starting with 0, and then the range is going from 0 to 2. Then I is jumping with a value of 2, and then this will return the next pair of data. Good, so now we have the predictions right. Now we have to do the same for the true values, because this is now having the predictions for 2 observations and not the complete data set. And then we need to compare that, of course, also to the same 2 locations of the true tensor. So again, we are slicing for position I to I plus the batch size. And that should be it. So we can run now everything. Let's just clear the output and run everything. Now you can see here, due to the indentation, we can correct that maybe, that we are having now the epoch 0 a number of times, because every time we are passing only a small fraction of the complete data set. And finally we have more of these values. This is just due to the fact that we are adding several values per epoch, but that shouldn't care us too much. The main point in here is that we successfully implemented the batch size. So we are now passing the data not as a complete chunk to our model training, but instead we are taking smaller bytes and passing them one by one to the model. And that was basically it. So inside our outer loop for the iteration over the epoch, we have now introduced another inner loop for iterating over the batches. And then all we had to do is we had to pick the right positions of the data that we are passing in the forward pass, and we had to adapt in the loss function the position of the true tensor. And that is everything that we needed to implement to make this work and to implement successfully the batch size. That is everything that I wanted you to learn in this lecture. Thank you very much and see you in the next video.